Hallo, welkom bij deze webinar van ITnex en AGA. Mijn naam is Annelies en ook aanwezig is Valensas van AGA. Allereerst wil ik u vragen of ik goed te verstaan ben. Als u mij goed kunt horen, mag u op de knop Raise Your Hand klikken. Valensas, can you see if everybody raised their hand in the screen?
Yeah, I see.
Yes, perfect. Yes. Dit webinar wordt gehouden in listen-only mode. U kunt dus niet zelf spreken, maar u kunt wel eventueel vragen stellen via uw scherm. Wij proberen uw vragen zoveel mogelijk tijdens het webinar te beantwoorden. Mocht u na het webinar toch nog vragen hebben, neem dan contact met ons op. De contactgegevens verschijnen aan het eind van het webinar of kijk even op www.itnex.com. Wij organiseren dit webinar in samenwerking met AGA. Voor iedereen die ons nog niet kent, willen wij ons even kort voorstellen. Hierna zal Valensas verder uitleg van het Precast Concrete Suite op zich nemen. ITnex kan u voor uw BIM multidisciplinair implementeren, zowel in het ontwerp, de realisatie en het beheer van uw modellen. ITnex bestaat sinds 1996 en we hebben meer dan 6000 CAD-werkplekken in Nederland. Ooit begonnen met Autodesk AutoCAD als basis, maar tegenwoordig implementeren we BIM bij bedrijven door heel Nederland. Wij kunnen u helpen bij het verbeteren van uw processen op basis van onze materie en productkennis. Daarnaast zijn wij een Authorized Autodesk Reseller en staan in de top 20 Value Added Resellers van Autodesk EMEA, Europe, Middle East en Africa. Naast de software van Autodesk hebben wij zelf Smart Revit. Het merendeel van u zal het wellicht kennen. Smart Revit is een schil om Revit waarin wij uw processen proberen te versnellen. Hierbij hebben wij AGA als hulp. Daarbij geef ik nu het woord aan Valensas. Valensas, I will switch to your screen to start with your part of the presentation.
Okay. Yep. So now you should see my slides. Right? Okay. So I work in AJCAD as application engineer and I support the structural engineer part. So our company is an official developer of Autodesk and we have more than 10,000 users in more than 100 countries who use our products. So we create solutions accelerate the BIM industry. And our promise to our client is to reduce stress and to remove inefficient tasks which do not create value. So today I will talk about this. I will talk about the Precast Concrete Suite, which helps to work with precast elements in Revit. So we will see how to create elements, insert details, sort elements, also create automatic drawings. So you can see here I will talk about these add-ons, these tools which are included in Precast Concrete Suite. So these are different solutions and I will show how do they work. And so you will learn how to divide walls with different splitting options, then how to generate hollow core slabs, how to create connections and details, how to insert cuts to different elements, how to automatically renumber them according to different rules, how to prepare shop drawings of assemblies, and also I will mention about dynamic update assembly functionality. So you will see how it works. Okay, so I will start live demo. So for that I will switch to Revit screen. I will minimize this one. Okay, so now you see one sample project which I will use to demonstrate our solutions, and you will see how to insert, let's say, cuts, connection details, how to distribute all different kind of elements you see in this model. Let's say how to create corbels, how to create insert details according to gravity point, and different other things, how to create hollow core slabs and so on. So this is final model, so I will maybe switch this off and I will start from simple model. So with Revit you can model all of these elements like using system walls, columns, beams and so on. So, but later we created solutions to make it work for other stages. Like from the beginning I was taught from the smart wall solution. I will drag it here. Actually, for those who don't know, you need to, if you want to use our solutions, you can download the tools for BIMDoc and install any of these add-ons and try for 14 days. So you can use it from here or you can use it from the tab. So I will just drag this one from the ribbon and I will use it now to split walls, to control connections between walls. Okay, so this solution. Now let's overview the functionality of this solution. So in this menu you'll see a lot of different commands. So first of them is to control and manage walls, let's say parameters and so on. You can list all the walls in your element by different types and so on. You can also add any parameter you want here, and then you can use this these columns to update information or check information or select elements in your project. Let's say if I would drag this, you see the elements are selected also. So you can use this window to different tasks. And then let's go to other commands. We have also functionality like to decompose walls. So this function lets us, let's say, if I have multi-layered wall, I can decompose it. So what, oh, this is configuration, sorry. This is the command to decompose wall. So actually what it will do, it will create 3 different walls instead of 1 wall. Or I can have 2 walls. Let's say I can separate architectural layers from the structural layers. And you see I have now wall, and here I have different wall and so on. So just this kind of possibility in this tool. And then I will talk more about splitting of a wall. So here you have gap configuration by wall type. So if I will open this window, you will see I have types of walls in my project, and then I can define the gap distance between the walls. So when I will do the split, it will use this distance to make the gap between the walls. So I can define this for structural walls, for non-structural walls. I can define if I want to do shallow joints or if I don't want to do that. So when I do this configuration, okay, I can also define where do I want to shorten the wall, if at both ends or at one end. Then I have possibility this shallow joints of walls. Then I have this split wall menu, which I can use different commands how to split the walls. So actually I will use 2 commands to do that. I will use this one to shorten picked wall end. So I will select that. And let's say now I have just regular 2 walls connected. I can select on this side of a wall, and I will have this gap which was defined in the gap configuration. I have this gap, I have the shallow joint of this wall, so I can go around and just disjoin these elements with defined gap. Let's say I can go around, I will just separate these walls as I want to have them as a panels. I don't want to, let's say, yeah, like this, like that. Over here, let's say I can shorten like this, or if I don't like that, I can change that. Okay, so I will just go around a few more. So I don't want to connect these walls, so I will do that. Okay. Let's just drag this one for the further process. So maybe I will do it like this. Okay, so when I disallowed joints and then make this gap, I can use, let's say, these commands. So here I have split settings. If I will open this one, you will see like I can define the minimal length of the wall. I can define the if I want to split in the intersecting walls or by openings, I can define the minimal distance from the openings. But when I will do automatic splitting, then I will define the panel width. Let's say I want to have all the panels like this, and then the maximal panel width should be like this. Here's just information about the meaning of the start and the end point of the wall. So I can change these configurations, and then I can use these commands. Let's say I want to split by cocenter. So I will split this wall by using this element. And I will click escape. And now I will have, let's say, 2 walls split it in this point. So I have 0 gap for this type of a wall, so that's why it's just a splitted wall with disallowed joints function. Okay, let's do that a few more times. I select the wall, I select the splitting wall, and I have this separated. Okay, maybe once more over here. Okay, so I have these walls split. Then let's try other options, like let's say split by selected grids. So I have these additional grids, just grid lines. I just draw them not like building axes, but just additional lines. And then you see here the command you need to do. So when I selected these, I click escape, and when I need to select wall, okay, so I will split that, and I will click on escape again. So I have 2 walls here. Okay, so I have splitted this wall. So maybe I'll repeat that again. And this one. Okay, so now I have just separate walls divided by these grid lines. Okay, so then we have other different options, right? So I select the wall, let's say, and split by selected maximum spacing. So I can do that just simply. I will have these same walls splitted according to the rules. Then let's say I can split from the start, so it means that it will start dividing from the start of a wall, and then it will find the opening, it will do additional split or something like that to have this minimum length from the opening, and so on. So we can use different options to split these walls. Okay, maybe we can also do additional splitting over here. Let's see, by maximum again. So it's pretty quick, and then it's better than to do this manually, and you can just use these options for splitting of a wall to control all of your joints of the walls and gaps. Okay, and in the end we have possibility to insert gravity point or insert one gravity point for few selected elements, but we will not do that. We will have other commands how to do that. So we'll talk about this later with different solutions. So let me check that. How does it look? Okay, so I have my wall splitted here, so probably it's enough for this demo. Let's take a look to other solutions. So we have Smart Details solution. This solution will let you insert different details in your element. So let's say you can use it for the walls, column, beams, and so on. So I will just maybe do something for this. Let's say I select the element, and if I want to insert details, before that I have to prepare configurations. And how do I do that? I will just open this configuration window, and you will see that I have here on the left side tabs for selecting what kind of element do I want to insert. So these are for the line-based elements and these are for the point-based elements. And then I have tabs where I can define what kind of element do I want to insert. So let's say if I will switch to this one, I see that this one is green, so I have selected family from the list, point-based family. I can also select it from here, like by using pictures or from a list. So I select the family. I have different flipping options. I have possibility to insert it on one or the other side of the element. Then I have rules. How do I want to insert this element? So let's say this over here, I want to insert from the start with the offset of 100, from the end with offset with 100. Then I have layout direction, I have rules. How do I want to distribute this element in one direction? And here I can define in other direction, like how do I want to insert these elements. So I can have a lot of these elements on the, let's say here at the bottom, I want to insert these tubes with defined rules. Then again, on the top, I want to insert these elements. And here are also layout correction by elements options. So this one gives opportunity to search, let's say vertically for, you can search for elements or for faces. So if you search for elements, to the top, and you can select, let's say I'm searching for structural framing elements, and it will insert this detail only in the intersection point with structural framing element. It will not insert by using these rules, but it will insert in the intersection point. So we will see how it works in practice. And here is other option, like to search for the faces. So you can also search if there's enough space. Let's say I can define the minimal solid depth value, so to insert detail or skip to insertion of detail and so on. So here are some layout correction of elements. So you can use this additionally. Okay, so let's start. Let's insert some details so we can take a look how does it look. Let's say I have configurations saved with defined rules. So let's say I will select this one or okay, this one, and I will click on insert. So you will see, let's say I have distributed cuts on this side, right? Maybe I will switch to 3D view to take a look in more details of this element. Okay, so I have also point-based details inserted on the top, on the side faces with a defined rule. I have these on the top inserted. I have also this kind of cut inserted just on the top to support the floor, the hollow core slabs, and so on. So you can do that by inserting, selecting different configuration and inserting these elements. And okay, let's say I will select now some structural framing elements, and I will show other functionality. Maybe I will filter these girders, right? So I will have these hollow core slabs, and I will auto insert. I will use this command. So this command just reads the parameter from the element, the name of configuration in the element, and it will apply the defined configuration for this element. Let's say this element, if I will select it, it has this parameter, smart detail configuration, and it has the name of configuration I want to use. So this configuration defines to insert just some line-based cuts on the top with defined rules, and it goes like this. But this one, let's say element, it has additional details on the sides. So this one has different name of configuration. So auto insert reads the name of configuration and applies to to insert these elements to the element. So I have entered the names of configurations and then I used auto insert. So that's why I have now all the details inserted to all of these elements automatically. So this could be instance parameter, like you draw the hollow core slab and it automatically has this parameter, right? So you don't need to think and remember the name of configuration you want to use. And another interesting feature of Smart Details is that you can actually read the name of parameter from the host. You can use host parameter to define the size of your detail. So let's say this supporting detail has the width of 1.2 meter, and this one, it has 1.5 meter width, and that's because it reads the host element parameter. So this host element has this width parameter of 1.5 meter, and during the insert, my detail is updated by using this parameter, by using hash in the front of the name of parameter, and it will use this to define the, let's say, the length of my detail. So you can adapt your details to the situation, to the size of your host detail, or to the size of the connecting element. So let's see another option. So let's say I'll switch to this one, and I will select now all the columns, structural columns and structural framing elements, right? And I will auto insert again details. Let's just see a few different ways, different options, and how could it help to make you more efficient, right? So let's say I have short columns here. So okay, so let's see this one, right? So I have some details at the bottom. I have bolts inserted on the top. Then I have some connecting steel corbels over here. In the if I was modify these details, right? So you can modify them anytime. So here I have a rule like search horizontally for the elements, search for L connection, and search for structural framing elements. So when I found the intersection with structural framing element, I insert this detail. And yeah, so it just if there is a element, you have this detail. Let's say for this column, it has on this side where is the intersection with element, I have this detail inserted. Then I have a wall, a column going from the first floor to the third floor, and here I have set up also different ways to insert details. Let's say here I have T connection, right? So it goes like this, and I have this like a T letter, and here I have L connection, like because this is the top of a column, so I need to insert different detail. So that's why I can define this, what kind of connection this is. So over here I have to insert this detail by using rule T connection, and here I have to insert this detail by using rule L connection. So I can insert different elements depending on the connection of elements. Over here, let's say I have possibility to insert, if I was to choose that, I insert this element, I insert it on top by using gravity point, right? And the fixed number and fixed distance to define the distance between elements. Let's say here I have different corbels with bolts. So again, I have two different sizes of beams. So it's because I read the parameter from this connecting element. So I use double hash symbol before the name of parameter, and I can read this H parameter from the host element. So it has 600, so I read it and I move this corbel according to the situation. So you can adopt this also. So let's say another example for the columns. Okay, okay, so maybe I can do that over here. So I'll do it like this. I'll select two different sizes of the columns. Let's insert these details, and you will see like these details are in the corners of this size of a column, and these are in the corners of the size of a column. So you don't need to do this any manual changes. You just need to read parameters from the host element. Okay, so that's like this. Let's say this. Okay, maybe it's enough to understand the functionality of this tool. Of course, you have here options like to update details, to modify details. You can do changes in the elements anytime by modifying them, just changing the type of a detail or just spacing and so on. So you can modify anytime them, update details if you have deleted something or you have changed configuration, so you can update and then pretty easily. Okay, and here are some options to delete elements, like if you want to delete just let's say one rule element. So let's say this one, right? So you didn't delete these details, but you can also delete and only smart details or all the details, because maybe you have some manual details. So there are just options to control, to modify, to update all of your elements all the time, so you can stay in control of what you created and the changes in the project. And here are also options to insert gravity point of the element. So this insert gravity point for the hosted element, delete or update this gravity point. But actually, when we are talking about full suite, when we are trying to insert details, to renumber elements, and to reach the shop drawings, so maybe the best way is to do that in the final stage when we do the assemblies. So we have tool for that, and I will just go through this later. Okay, smart floors solution. Another solution is just dedicated to create hollow core slabs, right? So if I will go to plan view, and I will show you just a few options, a few tips how could it work. And here are two ways how to insert these floors actually. So there is a way to insert update floors with command, right? So you can just give a name of a group. You can select the boundaries to define where do you want to have your elements. So boundaries could be walls, beams, reference planes, grid lines. I will select these, right, to define the boundaries. Then I have parameter names. Then I have to select the floor type to insert holes if I want to, right? There's some information about these elements, the level, the height offset, and so on. And I can click on insert, and I will have these floors now created, right? So I have a floor, and I have here is the floor with width and length parameters, and here is the generic model, line-based element inserted as a whole. So it's just a simple family which we can modify, which we can change the whole sizes and so on just by drawing according to your local manufacturer, just the profile of the holes, and it will be inserted over here. You can use it to define the shape of your hollow core slabs. So this is one method how to insert them. Actually, when you insert them, you can use the same command. Let's say I select one of the floors. I can make changes. Let's say I want to just make this support. Okay, so my ends are moved, or I can, let's say, do also all of different kinds of updates, splitting of these. Okay, I will select the floor. Again, I can change that. I can, let's say, change the layout beginning, right? If I will select that. Now I will also have one part which is not divided by this width, so I can, I will have cast in place floor, or how do you call it? It's just a floor without holes, let's say, now you see I have this part without holes, or I can just insert holes additionally. If I have a profile I need, I can just do that. Okay, so I can insert manually these holes later. It depends on the manufacturer again and the country. And now other way to insert these details is like these slabs is when you, let's say, have floor, system floor, and let me check that. Okay, so maybe everything is fine. So I have this floor, let's say. I can do other command like floor panel layout planning. So this one gives us opportunity to divide the floor and then insert panels. So I have here first way how to divide the floor. So it's pretty similar to the walls. Like I have floor splitting options, how to split them, the maximal split, the panel width, the way to split, the rule from which side to split. So I can define that, and then I can just split this wall. So you will see now I have floors going from one side to the other. So that's not the way I want it to be. So I will just undo that. I can actually use add split line, right, to define the regions of my slabs. So if I will do that, now if I will use this command, let's say create panel layout from the floor size, you will see now the blue rectangular is highlighted. So I'll just select the side where do I want to insert my slabs, and I just insert it over here, the splitting region. And if I will select on this side, it will go other way, but maybe I will not do that. I'll just do that in this way, right? And then I have different options, just how to modify. Let's say I will select modify, I will select this one. I can split from both ends. Let's say I will do update, so I will have narrow panel in the middle. I can join these regions. Let's say a few of them. I can then let's say just split this area again to the panels, and then in the end I have possibility to create panels, so floors actually. So if I will open these settings, I have again end and start support settings. I will have parameters for these floors, the holes, and then the floor type. I can select these, and I can create, let's say, panel for the wall floor. So now you will see that I have an actual floor inserted here. Let's see in this maybe mode. You see I have the floors now inserted according to these settings, these splittings of my floor. So I can just use like this. So there are two options how to insert floors and hollow core slabs, and just work it out to the final stage of design. And here are some options to place floors according to the rooms, but it's for more like for the finishing of floors, finishing layers, like for the tiles and so on. So maybe probably this would be used more by architects, so we'll not go too deep into this. So I will hide this one. And now a few other, solutions. Sort mark. So it helps us to sort elements. So let's say I will select all of these floors, and I will select sort mark solution, and I have here options how to renumber elements. I can renumber grids, I can renumber room spaces, sheets, and in the end I have this element numbering. If I will open that, I have a possibility to select the parameter, where do I want to insert my mark value. Then I select the grouping options. I can select numbering options, sorting options, and in the end I can define what actually should be the mark. I can add suffix, prefix, and then start number, right? I can save this configuration under different names. And let's say I will click on OK, and it will rename all of, renumber all of these elements. I will have some few same mark values, but let's say in this case I have all of these elements now have mark values. So you can do that with the columns, with the beams, floors, and so on. So you can do this with sort mark pretty easily. So this is just a short introduction to this tool. I think it's not too much to explain. It's just a quick and effective. And now the last solution is Smart Assembly. So I will use this from the doc, or I can just open it from here, from Ribbon, but I just used to use this from the doc. So let's overview this solution, the last solution I want to talk about. And for this I will switch to this project, maybe it's just easier to explain. The final result, what we can expect from this solution, let's say something like this could be created automatically, right? So we have details, then we have dimensions for these details, we have dimensions for the main element, for the details, for the gravity point if we need to, for the openings, yes. So let's see how can we do that. To create assembly, this is the main command, but to create assembly before you have to have again sharp join configuration. So if I'll open that, because when you create the assembly you just define configurations, how do you want to, what kind of views should be created, what kind of dimension should apply. So this is configuration window. Again, you can save different configurations, and here you can define what kind of views do you want to have. Just define as many as views you want to create, then define the view type, so it's a section, it's elevation or whatever, some additional views, just flipped versions of standard Revit views. Then you have to, then you can select the view type for the sections, then you can change the name, right? You can write whatever you want here in your language, and how do you use it. Then you can apply any view template you need, dimension rules, and dimension rules is created over here with this button. I will open edit dimension rule, right? And here again you have dimension rules for the main element, so you can define how to dimension main element, how to dimension visible or not visible sides of the element, then just dimension types, then rules for the openings, like what kind of openings should be dimensioned, what should not be dimensioned, like according to the size, or if dimensions should be grouped and so on. So this is for the main elements, and then here are possible categories described, like all different categories could be used for the smart assemblies. Then rules for the hosted metal details. So it's important to know that it's a phase-based details or line-based details, but the material for model behavior should be set to steel, and then these rules will be applied to dimension this element. So it could be dimensioned according to the solid part of the element, or dimensions could be placed according to the line, to the model lines which are inside of the family. So if I will switch off this one, it will dimension the boundaries of the element, but if I will switch on this one, it will dimension to the model lines inside the family. So you can control exactly the part you want to dimension by using model lines inside the family. So these are for the hosted metal details, these are for the hosted concrete details. Again, material for model behavior is a concrete for these details. So, and all these details must be hosted to the main element, right? To automatically include in assembly them. And then dimension rules for the rebars, rules for the nodes. What do you want to insert, what kind of dimensions, what kind of nodes. You can change the names of the nodes, what kind of information should be included. Then node positioning, you can choose on which side they should be defined and so on. And then you can apply this dimension rule anywhere on any view. Then here are some options to tag elements, to show gravity point, to update views, reverse some elements, direction, and so on. So how do you want to see the wall, let's say? You can see it from the front or from the back side. Then you have rules to select what kind of material takeoff you want to use. The schedule template, which you can select from standard just Revit schedules. Then count by instance or by type all the quantities. And then the sheet, you can use sheet template. So when you create assembly, you can drag views to the sheet and use that sheet as a template to create other elements. So let's say I create this assembly. What's the name of assembly? It's MW12. So let's see, how does it look? Then I drag these views to the sheet, and in the configurations I define that this sheet should be used as a template for other elements. So when I will create assembly from the element, it will place also views to the sheet. So of course it should be a pretty similar size to make it work fine, but yeah, that's the way how it works. So let's say I select this element and let's see how it works. I will create assembly. Okay, I select the configuration which I want to use. I click on create. And now the new assembly will be created. So during this process, all the so all these details which are hosted to the element, they are automatically included in assembly. So you don't need to, go here and add elements manually. They are automatically included in assembly. So it saves great amount of time. And let's see, what's the name? 12.1. Okay, so let's see. So now you see this one was created and views are placed just like in the previous assembly, just like in sheet template. So the front view is here, the section is here, some schedule tables, and then I have this 3D view also assigned here. So it just placed in the way the sheet template defines this. And here you see the template file. So I create different assemblies here. I place them on the sheet, so I can use this in my project. So when I, let's say, select element and I click on create assembly in this new project, right? So I can use this template. Okay, sorry, but I can define the template project, so the project which is template for me, and I will use these assemblies in the template project to create assemblies in my new project. So when I define where is my template project locations, I can also transfer information from the template project, and then I select the element and create assembly. So it will not just create the assembly and the dimension rules, but it will also apply the, okay, I will use this configuration. It will also drag views to the sheet because of this project template project. So let's see now. Okay, I'll switch it. Okay, so this is the first assembly in this project, right? So now I have Okay, zoom to fit. And now I created assembly, all the elements included, automatic dimensions, right? Included to define the, let's say, the openings, the lifting details, the gravity points I have here selected to show it. I can switch it on or off, but I have all the views in the sheet automatically. So it could be, yep, it could be in such way. And then over here, again, you have different options to update assembly, to recalculate. So recalculate will only calculate the gravity point location if you don't want to update drawings, but you want to update the gravity points or something like that. Then auto create assemblies works the same as auto insert details, as I showed you. Here is the name of assembly configuration. If I have this name, I can use auto create assembly command. Then manage assemblies gives us option. I will switch back to this one so to show you better that here in this window, let's say I can select the element anywhere in my project and I can find all the same type elements, or I can select only primary assembly. So primary assembly is assembly with drawings. So let's say if I will select all of these elements have the same type. They are exactly the same, right? But only one of them has drawings. This one can acquire views from the primary assembly, and this one is with the drawings, and these are just the copies. So that's the way Revit works. So this functionality gives you possibility to find primary assembly or to find all the types. And why do we need that? Why do we create this one? Okay, so it's just to manage, to find elements of the same type. It's also good, but the main reason was because we created such a dynamic smart assemblies feature. So if I will open this one, I can switch it on or off. But if it's on, then let's say if you want to make changes to assembly, it will work a bit differently from the Revit. So if I want to make changes to the secondary assembly, which does not have drawings, and I want to delete this, I will have this question. It will not just create new assembly for me, but it will ask me, do you want to really make changes to this element? Maybe you want to create new assembly, or do you want to skip this and then just to overview your decision? If you will, or just don't create this, don't delete this detail and show the primary detail so you can compare or something like that. But if I will click on yes, it will create just new assembly according to the configuration which was used for the primary assembly. So it will create new assembly with drawings automatically, right? So it will not just create new assembly. Now it will have also drawings created. But this was when I made changes to the secondary assembly. If I will make changes to the primary assembly, this one is primary with drawings, right? Let's say I will do the same. I will delete that. So it will ask what I want to do. Do I want to update? Do I want to just recalculate assembly? So let's say I will click on recalculate, and you will see now it's updating. Okay, maybe I'll do that again. So it will update my assembly, it will update drawings, and it will also update secondary assemblies. I can cancel that, or I can do these changes. Oh, I clicked on cancel. Sorry, I'm so quick to cancel everything. Okay, let's do that again. I need to update. Let's say it will update the dimension lines and my views. Okay. It should have deleted my element. So something is not working as I expected actually. I don't know why, but it should have deleted all the details in my secondary assemblies. Sorry about that. I don't, maybe I did something. Okay, I can't figure it out quickly, so probably, but the main idea is to update all the same type assemblies with dynamic update, and maybe it's because I use the beta version. Okay, so it didn't work out somehow. I'll take a look about this later on, but I hope you got the idea what should be the benefit of this one. And okay, in the end you have also possibility to modify element, just to change dimension rules for individual elements, for the instance elements, then save configuration from the element. Let's say you got the file from the colleague, you can save this configuration, then you can update, edit, change configuration, or disassemble elements. So here are the features of this solution, and configurations could be saved, could be in the company location, or could be sent to colleagues. So they could be used in different ways. Just it's not related to a project and so on. Yeah, probably that's what I wanted to show, and maybe a few words about just AggAhead, that we create a lot of different solutions. So these are just for the precast. You can get the trials, you can download this BIM doc, and just from our website, right? Just go there, activate tool, get trial for 2 weeks, just try to use it, get support if you need to. You can contact me or Annalise, and we can just skip now to the questions, I think. Right, Annalise, do you hear me?
Thank you, Valensas. Yes, can you see any questions in the screen?
Okay, I'll try to switch that because I see something is it's interesting because it's like flashing, okay, but I don't see
I can't see any questions. Maybe you can, but I'm not sure if they're in Dutch or in English.
Oh, I see they are coming, I think. Let me check that. I need to just does these elements, okay, so I have questions, yeah.
Okay, maybe you can do 1 or 2 questions, and if people have any other questions, they can contact me or you. And if they have any other non-technical questions, they can contact us at info@etanex.com.
Okay, so I will just read the question. First question is, do these elements have attributes? Do they have like parameters to control it? Then I showed the smart details, let's say, so I used my library, my elements, just a point-based or line-based elements created for demonstration purposes, but you can use any face-based or line-based detail you have in your library or provided by manufacturers, local manufacturers, or created by you. Are the objects in the tool specific for DIS or NLSFB? So these are standards, right? Some kind of?
Yes, these are our standards, yes. Because components you use are for your country, because we have our own components, but they can all be changed to every component that can be made for smart details.
Yeah.
So you can just add the hashtag to your parameters, so it will be as intelligent as Valenza showed you.
And how I can show parts in the new create as assembly? in the new project, how can you show the parts in the new created assembly? I'm not sure about the question.
No, perhaps the one who sent that question can ask it in Dutch to me. They can just send me an email, and perhaps I can get a little bit more information about that question.
Okay, so I'll send you that.
Please send it to me.
Okay, okay, I'll send it to me. Like concrete attributes, what kind of concrete and so on. Yeah, of course, it's just a Revit thing that you can define any material, like what's the, I don't know, any physical parameters or material parameters you need, you know. For the details, yeah, of course, the same. And because
okay.
Okay, fireproofing. Okay, there are some questions about the same, the parameters and so on, about these smart details. Does it know what type of concrete, weight of element? Yeah, you can read any parameter from the column, let's say, and use it. Let's say if you have different columns, you can use it to update or information from the host element.
Yes, from the material, I think the question is from the materials, they do have to use the correct material with the right physical equipments. Normally in our normal material library there's a concrete material, but it doesn't have any physical aspects. So they should use the real concrete quality. Where in Revit the material assets have been defined. That's why they get the error.
Okay, so there will be a few questions about in your language, so I will send it to you, and you can contact him.
Send the Dutch questions to me, and I will to answer them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so Annelies will contact you. Okay, and
yes.
I think that's it. We are not having more questions coming in.
No, if we have any questions or more questions later on, they can contact one of us.
Yes, of course.
So perhaps we will get a few more emails. Thank you very much, Valente, for your presentation, and see you next time.
Okay, so bye to everyone.
Bye, thank you.